A garage is home to many things. Bikes, hockey sticks, and most importantly, toxins. Today, we will be focusing on the toxins. Let's start off with one of the most common toxic chemicals found in your garage, carbon monoxide. Carbon monoxide is an odorless, colorless, tasteless gas, so it will sneak up on you. Its melting point is negative 200 degrees Celsius and has a boiling point of negative 192 degrees Celsius. That means it's basically always a gas, a very flammable gas. CO, otherwise known as carbon monoxide, is created by incomplete combustion of fuels such as propane, wood, natural gases, and gasoline, and diesel, not to mention. It's found in motor vehicles, chainsaws, lawnmowers, whippersnippers, and not to mention this leaf blower. But don't worry, as long as you're outside, you have nothing to worry about, because carbon monoxide only affects you if your face is in the exhaust of your car or you're in an unventilated room full of it. However, let's say you parked your car inside the garage, left it on, closed the door, and left it for 10 minutes. Went back inside the garage, you have carbon monoxide poisoning, buddy. The symptoms you will feel are a dull headache, dizziness, nausea, and you will pass out. And the final symptom, drum roll please, death! By now you should be thinking to yourself, how do I avoid this thing? Well, I'm here to tell you, don't be stupid and put your face in the exhaust. Second off, use carbon monoxide detectors. And when you hear them beeping, exit your house before it's too late, or there will be serious consequences. Enough about you. Let's talk about the environment. Believe it or not, a toxic gas that is invisible is actually really bad for the environment. Terrible, in fact. It is one of the most leading greenhouse gases. It pollutes airways. Dude, it is just terrible. Now passing it off to my homie Tristan, who's gonna be talking about methanol.
Cars need refills on a lot of chemicals that we keep on hand often. One of these chemicals being most foundly in windshield wiper fluid. And that chemical is methanol. Methanol is a colorless, slightly volatile liquid that is easily flammable. It also completely mixes with water and it has a repulsive, repugnant odor that will keep you away. With a boiling point of 64 degrees Celsius and a melting point of negative 97 degrees Celsius, this chemical will be often found in liquid form and be used as a solvent. Methanol is a very toxic chemical that within the first few hours of consumption or even contact with the skin will leave you feeling drowsy, disinhibited, or unsteady. This will eventually lead to vomiting and abdominal pain, and if left untreated, will lead to death. An important part about handling methanol is knowing what to do when you come in contact with it. When you come in contact with it, the first thing you should do is wash the area for 15 whole minutes. And if that irritation still continues, call poison control immediately. And if you consume methanol, please call a paramedic. Blindness can still occur if treated. Preventing these accidents should be pretty simple too. Store the chemicals on high up shelves, use the proper PPP when called for, and follow the instructions. The last chemical we're going to be talking about is diethylene glycol. Diethylene glycol is a colorless, odorless liquid that is derived from monoethylene glycol. You can often find diethylene glycol in products like brake fluid in a garage like this, or paints and inks and other solvents around a house. Diethylene glycol has a melting point of negative 10 degrees Celsius and a boiling point of 240 degrees Celsius. Diethylene glycol is an acutely toxic chemical that will take effect when ingested or inhaled. These effects can be very damaging to your liver, your kidneys, your digestive tract, and your brain. To prevent exposure to diethylene glycol is pretty uniform. You want to use the proper PPP when handling it. You want to keep it on a shelf away from children and taking action if coming in contact with it. Using diethylene glycol with caution is very important because when diethylene glycol is spilled, it could seep into waterways and that could damage life and contaminate the water. Like this river that houses geese, beaver, ducks, and fish.
You might be wondering which of these three chemicals is the most dangerous. Me and the team have come to a conclusion that it is carbon monoxide. As stated before, it is one of the leading greenhouse gases causing pollution and climate change. Well, I guess the other toxins are dangerous if you drink them, but let's talk about the grand scheme of things here, the environment, which is super important. Without it, the human race will be no more.